our job is to fight on Saturday, right? So I'm prepared. I'm confident, so I can come here and sit down and talk to you guys.
I don't think I've ever seen you looking this happy on a fight week, man. You look like completely revitalized.
Were you in Nashville?
Yes, I was.
I felt good in Nashville too, man. It's like without the weight cut, I'm not dying. You know, like when you guys ask me questions, I can actually process it and give you a good answer back. I'm not having sunglasses on because my eyes are sunken in. I feel good to be here.
Do you think that's the next step for fighters? Do you think fighters need to start realizing that we need to get past this weight of like big weight cuts, draining yourselves? Do you think we need to start trying to push fighters to think actually it's probably better for us all if we fight at our more natural weights?
I don't know. The sport's so young that I feel like we're going through these phases, and like this phase right now where we were just at, the guys are cutting a lot of weight. So like to compete, you have to cut weight, especially with this rule set. These guys are holding you down for 15 minutes. Not necessarily a better fighter, but he's stronger than me, he's bigger than me, he's holding me down. So that's where a lot of that comes from, I think, the weight cut. But now I just changed my mindset to fight. Now I'm not wrestling no more, I'm fighting.
I've spoken with Vicky and your brother, and they said the only fighter better than Anthony Pettis is Anthony Pettis with a chip on his shoulder with animosity towards his opponent. But after you didn't really have animosity with Wonder Boy, and we saw what happened. So how accurate is that statement?
I mean, it's definitely accurate. You know, like these are the guys that talk shit to me. Cowboy, Michael Chiesa. You know, I embarrass these guys, and I take it personal. But it's weird because Nate's not doing that. You know, Nate's not here. He's not doing his normal antics. So I'm pulling back from them emotions, and I know what I have to do in there, man. I'm gonna go in there and just stay true to my game plan and give you guys a fucking show.
He was pretty complimentary of you at the open workouts and in the scrum. Is there really animosity at this point?
There was animosity. Now, I don't know. Like, I mean, on my end, like I said, I'm a professional, man. Like, we're gonna fight, and I can walk out of that cage and be like, yo, it's solved. You know, this problem is done if there is a problem. I was waiting to hear the real problem this whole time. Like, I wanted to, like, I'm like, I thought I did something to him, or like I did something that offended him. Not so. Like, I after watching all this, I feel like where he was at in his career, and then all the sun I got, he was jealous, and he got his Conor McGregor fight. He got all that, so now he can't say he's jealous of me. He can't say he has a problem with me because he has the money now. He has the followers. He has everything he wanted.
Just on that Conor McGregor thing you mentioned yesterday, there was some confusion as to whether that was going to be a fight in November or in July. We heard that they were potentially thinking doing New York in July.
It was July.
Right?
Yeah. It was right after the Wonder Boy fight, so it was right before this one was announced.
Yeah, so Edmonton, they just threw in there, I guess, because that fight didn't come together, because it wasn't in New York, it was in Edmonton.
No idea, but it was presented to me as Madison Square Garden, me versus Conor McGregor.
Okay, makes sense. And quickly, Conor obviously in the news today because of that video. Did you see the video and your reaction to it?
I just want to know what the guy said, honestly. Like, obviously, don't hit people in the face, but man, I'm a fighter and I know how drunk people treat us, bro. It's crazy. Like, we're so accessible to people. Like, we're not like NBA, NFL athletes where we have this huge entourage. Like, UFC puts us out in front of everybody. We walk in front of this lobby, where, we're pretty popular and pretty famous.
Well, that happened to Askren, actually, a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
Remember that whole video where the guy hugged him?
Ben should have double legged his ass. If someone does that to me, they're getting smacked. I don't care.
So not just Diaz, you'll smack someone too,
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just I'm a man and I'm a fighter. Like these guys think that they can come and talk to us certain ways and stuff. Like, I'm not saying I support fighting somebody outside the octagon, but who knows what he said to get smacked.
Any particular story that you can share with us about a fan that maybe stepped out of line?
All the time. Like, people grab us like we're animals, bro. Like give me a picture. Like, don't touch my hand like that. Like, it's just a respect thing, man. Like, we are athletes, we're human beings, and we should be treated that way.
There are a lot of players in the welterweight division. Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington. You beat Diaz. Do you see yourself as entering that title picture?
Yeah, I think I'm already there, man. Diaz isn't the factor of that. Wonder Boy was the factor of that, and I already got past that. Diaz is a fun fight.
Who do you see winning between Kamaru and Colby?
I don't know, man. That's a good fight. I mean, Colby had a great performance, honestly. I never watched the guy fight until that last one. I watched the whole fight, and he had a great performance, man. So I'm excited to see what happens in that fight. Both great wrestlers and a high output.
What do you think of Colby's shtick? A lot of people don't like it. Some people do. What's sort of your thoughts on the whole Trump thing?
I've been here for so long, man. I don't come up with like an alter ego. I don't need to be like, I'm just who I am. If that's what he has to do to like sell his fights and get his popularity up, it kind of sucks because he has to stay that person. Like, you got to stay that person, or people are like, you're fake.
Right, but I think if he didn't do that, he probably wouldn't be getting the opportunity.
Exactly, he wouldn't be popular. So like, some people have to do that.
It's kind of the bad side of the sport, right? Sometimes you have to do stuff to that.
It's like if you look at Instagram and all these Twitter people, you get these people that come up, they're super popular really quick, but then they can't stay that popular because that's not who they are.
Yeah. Speaking of Instagram, John Jones gave Mike Biggie Rhodes a nice compliment yesterday. What did you think of that? Because Biggie is a guy who, he's been in the UFC, he's been behind the scenes, but talking to your teammates, he's a big part of a lot of your camps.
Huge. Biggie is my main instructor at Pettis Martial Arts, and he's been in my last camp for like last 4 fights. He can give me the style of any. If you actually saw his sparring, he looks exactly like Diaz. Exactly like Diaz. So and he's bigger. So like the pressure that Diaz puts, I had a 230-pound guy giving me that the whole camp.
Just on Diaz, I know you've probably been asked this already a lot because obviously media day, but what were you expecting from this stare down? You were saying before how you didn't really know whether there was beef or not. I feel like this is the first time you guys would kind of cross paths. What were you expecting before, Diaz didn't really show up?
We didn't have, this is not the first time we crossed paths. Like, we've been around each other for a long time. Now this would have been our first time crossing paths.
For this fight though, yeah.
Me fighting, like, signing a contract. So I don't know. Like, I don't really care. Like, I've been here for so long, 32 fights. Like, this is part of it, and I make this part of it.
Are you disappointed or upset at all that he didn't show?
Honestly, this is for you guys and for the fans. Like, he disappointed you guys, not me.
Did it surprise you at all?
No, not at all.
What do you think about Diaz smoking a joint, CBD joint on stage?
Jealous, bro. Like, we got a drug test on Saturday, but if it's CBD, I think it has to be, because there's no way he's gonna spark up and get tested on. If he does, like, what product is he taking to clear that shit out? That's about it.
Yeah, were you worried though when he did it, thinking maybe he was doing something wrong and the fight might be on?
It's Diaz, man. Like, that's just who he is, bro. And like, I support it, bro. I think marijuana is an amazing tool, and especially for athletes like us. Like, so we should be allowed to use marijuana. Like, the sleep you get from it, the recovery, like, it's amazing, man. So
a lot of your teammates are sponsored by Turpos. I know there's been a good partnership there with the CBD oil. Have you seen the differences with your teammates and everything?
Well, yeah, I'm with CBD Distillery, and I've been with these guys for a year now. And like, I didn't even know what CBD was. Like, I'm new to the marijuana game. Like, I didn't even dabble in that as a kid. So like, when I first tried it, I was like, what is this stuff? Like, it was like, damn, it's amazing. And then the CBD came along, and the recovery, and like the rubs, and like just the way my body feels, it makes me feel young again, man. Good. All right, fellas.